You finally did it. 6 figures. $100,000 a year. You're feeling on top of the world. You're telling your friends, updating LinkedIn, maybe even treating yourself. You made it. Right? And then your first paycheck hits. And you're staring at it thinking, where did the rest of it go? I'm Cody. On this channel, we break down real money facts nobody else will tell you. Subscribe if this opens your eyes. Let's get into it. First thing that happens to your $100,000, the government takes their cut. Before you see a single dollar, Uncle Sam is already in your pocket. Federal income tax takes about 14%. That's $14,000. Gone, just like that. Then Social Security takes 6.2%. Medicare takes 1.45%. That's another $7,650 you'll never see. And if you live in a state with income tax, California takes 6%. New York takes 5 to 7%. That's another $5,000 to $7,000 depending on where you live. Add it all up. Your $100,000 is now somewhere between $72,000 and $78,000. You haven't bought a single thing yet. Monthly. $100,000 divided by 12 is $8,333. Sounds great. But after taxes, your actual paycheck is $5,861. That's your reality. Now let's see how fast that disappears. Rent or mortgage, $1,800, and that's being generous. In most major cities, it's way higher. Car payment, $550. Car insurance, $225. That went up almost 6% this year alone. Groceries, $500 a month for one person. And if you've been to the store lately, you know that barely fills a cart. Utilities, electric, water, gas, $300. Phone bill, $100. Internet, $80. These bills never stop coming. Health insurance. Even with employer coverage, your share is about $250 a month. Gas for your car, $200. Streaming, apps, subscriptions, another $75. All those little charges add up. Add it all up. That's $4,080 in fixed expenses every single month. Non-negotiable. You haven't had fun yet. Haven't gone on a date. Haven't bought new clothes. $5,861 minus $4,080 equals $1,781. That's what you actually have left out of $100,000 a year. $1,781. That's your entire financial freedom on a 6-figure salary. And that $1,781 still has to cover savings, investing, haircuts, dentist visits, emergencies, gifts, dating, and every surprise life throws at you. Starting to see why 6 figures doesn't feel like 6 figures? Now here's where it gets really interesting. Because $100,000 is not the same everywhere. Where you live changes everything. In New York City, after taxes, rent, and cost of living, you're actually $6,200 in the red every year. You literally cannot live on $100,000 in Manhattan without going into debt. In San Francisco, $100,000 has the purchasing power of about $62,000. You're paying $3,200 for a studio and $6 for gas. Los Angeles, $2,500 rent, $4.50 gas, and you spend 2 hours a day stuck in traffic burning money just sitting there. But move to Texas? No state income tax. Rent is $1,400 for a nice place. Your $100,000 suddenly feels like $90,000 in real purchasing power. Florida? No income tax either. Sounds great until you see the property insurance. Highest in the nation. Those tax savings get eaten by hurricane premiums. In Oklahoma or the Midwest, $100,000 makes you genuinely wealthy. Buy a house, save money, invest, and still go out every weekend. Same salary, completely different life. Here's the thing nobody warns you about. When you made $60,000, you ate at home, drove an older car, and your apartment was fine. But you were actually saving money. Then you hit six figures, and everything shifted. You upgraded the apartment, leased a nicer car, started eating out 4 times a week. And now you have less in savings than before. That's lifestyle inflation. Your spending rises to match your income, and it is the #1 reason six-figure earners still feel broke. Look at this. At $60,000, savings jar full. At $100,000, savings jar empty. More income, less wealth. That's the trap most people fall into without even realizing it. Pull out your phone and add up every subscription. Netflix, Spotify, gym, Amazon, all of them. The average American spends $248 a month. That's $3,000 a year you barely notice leaving. That $3,000 invested instead? After 20 years at 10% returns, that's over $190,000. You're literally subscribing yourself out of wealth. Quick math. Eating out 4 times a week, $35 per meal with tip. That's over $600 a month. $7,300 a year on restaurant food. Cook at home instead? $320 a month. You save almost $3,400 a year just by using your kitchen. I'm not saying never eat out. Just know the math. Let's talk about your car. You walked into the dealership feeling great. The salesman smiled. You drove off feeling like a boss. 6 months later, car payment $650, insurance $225, gas $200, maintenance $100. Your car costs you $1,175 every month. That's $14,100 a year. And the best part? That car loses value every single day. You're paying $14,000 a year to own something that's worth less every time you drive it. The car you bought to look successful is the reason you're not becoming successful. Here's a hard truth about renting. Every month you pay $1,800, you're building your landlord's wealth, not yours. 0 equity, 0 ownership, just a receipt. But buying? You need about $45,000 for a down payment. On $100,000, with $1,781 left over each month, that's years of saving. It's possible, but nobody said it was easy. Here's the full picture of where every dollar goes. 27% taxes, 22% housing, 14% transportation, 10% food, 7% debt, and savings? 5%. Maybe. That's $416 a month. That's not building wealth. That's barely treading water. Here's something that should hit you hard. In 2006, $100,000 was real money. Houses cost $180,000. Gas was $2.50. A gallon of milk was $3. Life was genuinely affordable. Fast forward to 2026. Houses cost $380,000. Gas is $3.89. Groceries are double. $100,000 in 2026 buys what $71,000 bought in 2010. Your parents weren't lying. $100,000 used to be a lot. Now, it's the new middle class. And the worst part? Nobody taught you any of this. 12 years of school learning the quadratic formula, but nobody said, here's how taxes work, or here's why a $650 car payment is a trap. You hit $100,000 completely unprepared. So, how do you actually win? Tip 1. Pay yourself first. Automate $500 into savings and $200 into investments every month. If you never see it, you won't spend it. Tip 2. Live like you still make $60,000. When your income goes up, your spending shouldn't. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is the only thing that builds wealth. Tip 3. Invest the difference. $700 a month at 10% returns for 30 years becomes $850,000. That's not a fantasy. That's math. But only if you actually do it. Tip 4. Move strategically. A $100,000 remote salary in a low-cost city is genuinely life-changing. Same paycheck, half the expenses. Location is a financial weapon. Use it. Here's the truth. $100,000 a year is not rich, but it's enough. Enough to build real wealth and retire comfortably, if you respect the math. The difference between someone who earns $100,000 and stays stuck and someone who becomes a millionaire isn't luck. It's awareness. It's not about what you make. It's about what you keep. If this opened your eyes, subscribe and share it with someone who just hit 6 figures and needs to see the real numbers. I'll see you in the next one.